Yeah, the quality in a person or society that arises from a concern for what is regarded as excellent in arts, um, letters, manners, scholarly pursuits, etc. And I was going to use that to ask you what you thought of as being excellent in
Yeah,
that context. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, excellent is something to strive for. So it's like having hope, looking up to something that's worthwhile. And so it's a difficult striving for something better than where you came from yesterday. And so when you see something that somebody does that you find to be excellent, you admire them, you admire their work, um, you admire the meaning behind what they're doing, the values that they're inculcating in society through their work. And so that's excellence. And so it's something that we're striving for. You know, some people might just hope for it, as in some distant idea that they may not even seek to attain, but they believe in it. And this is a lot of times where religion steps into it, is that this kind of excellence in, like you were saying, letters and arts and things like
Hmm.
this can inspire people to such a degree that they consider them a holy person, some
Hmm.
kind of saint or guru or shaman. And so, you know, this begins a class society. So now you have a classes of people. And so it's true that people's superstitious beliefs can contribute to classism. And religion is obviously a part of this because belief is intertwined in this. But I think that I think it's better to see all of these things as story, because story is something that all of us can look up to. It doesn't have to do with who wrote it or who made it or the human element of it, right?
Hmm.
And I think also in our more modern society, we've learned to see people more as equals instead of shaman or things like this. It's true that Christianity and Judaism contributed to that a great deal. But a lot of people like to pretend that's not true and that our kind of egalitarian society just kind of erupted out of something different than something like Christianity. But the truth is that I think as we've grown less superstitious because of science and things like this, we regard all of these exceptional stories with exceptional values as something that we can all attain equally. And so I think this is a good way to look at culture because it means that we can all participate in culture in some way or another.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to appeal to. So I want to appeal to a society that's classless, which is the kind of society that Christ wanted to create in man.
Hmm.
He wanted to create a society that where everyone loves their neighbor
Hmm.
and regards each one of us with incredible value. And so that means all of us have potential to influence, interrupt, improve our culture in some way, even if it means to form a new culture. You know, um, there's places in the Bible where it's almost like someone created their own culture because in the beginning, in Genesis, they talked about how Cain killed his brother, and then he was exiled, right? And then he formed all these cities himself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a strange, I find it so strange. It's like he's exiled, he's marked, and then he goes and makes the first city. It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
How
it's
did he
just
do that?
so, it's so, well, I mean, I don't know if this is getting off topic, but I just love that, like, even the bad guy gets blessed by God. Like, God is just so
Yeah.
good that even
Well,
Cain
God,
gets,
he loved Cain. I
yeah,
mean,
he gets to go be the founder of a city.
what's put before us? is that we have the opportunity to engage in culture, but we have to do it a certain way. And the way we have to do it is, first of all, understand that it's voluntary. You can't force anyone
Mm.
to buy your product or agree with you or what have you. You know, you could have a holiday. You could be like, oh, this is Veterans Day, and people just don't want to celebrate it. You can't, you can't like force them to do that. So,
Hmm.
only God does that, right? He's like to the Jews, he's like, have this holiday, and you also have to uh, have fun.
Yes. Yeah, the
Love
God
God
ordained
ordained fun.
celebrations and feasts
Yes,
in
yes,
which they are commanded to rejoice.
exactly,
That's my
exactly.
favorite.
It's quite wonderful. At first, you're kind of like,
It's
what? Like
it's
God
wonderful.
forcing them to have fun.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, why wouldn't I want to anyway? Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I sticking around?
Yes. 4 times a
So,
year, you got to stop what you're doing and
yep,
celebrate for a week. And you have to do this. And I'm commanding you to rejoice and have fun.
yes.